Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Boy, oh boy, what did we watch last night with these two guys? Now, I told you I thought it was 50-50, but I said, hey, I lean towards Zepeda getting the unanimous decision. If not, it'll probably be a draw. But what we saw last night was Zepeda learn from his mistakes, didn't he? Absolutely amazing to see Zepeda. That work rate, the punch selection, and it was just like watching Lamont Roach was fighting like Danny Garcia. You know what it reminded me of is Amir Khan's Zab Judah, where Amir Khan was Zepeda, just fast hands, a lot of punches, and Roach was more like Zab Judah in the fight, just trying to land one shot, something big. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't able to get the job done. The difference is Roach pushed through, got to the finish line. Zab Judah, he said he got hit with a low blow, but, it is what it is. Matter of fact, let's do this because I got some people on this image here. Let's get rid of my big head. There we go. So we're going to talk about a few people here today, man. But my head is still spinning. William Zepeda totally overwhelmed Lamont Roach. You know what I mean? He reinforced what a lot of us already knew about his style and what he did for Shakur Stevenson as far as Shakur Stevenson's stock has skyrocketed. Now, everybody who follows the channel know what I was saying with Shakur going into that Zepeda fight. I wasn't so sold on Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? I knew he could fight. I knew he was a bad boy. I said that if I had to bet my money, I put my money on Shakur Stevenson. I was like, but, I just have a feeling if he can't deal with that pressure and stuff of Zepeda, Shakur's going to lose. I said, but, if I had to bet my money, although I'm saying I think Zepeda may get him if Shakur can't slow him down, I said I put my money on Shakur Stevenson. And there were a lot of people like, what kind of bullshit is that? But after I watched that fight, I was like, yo, Shakur Stevenson is an alien, man. Like, really, he's a different species. I don't know what goddamn planet he come from, but he ain't from Earth. But anyway, to see him control Zepeda with the jab, the speed, the combinations, holding his ground, slipping punches, making Zepeda pay was absolutely amazing. So what ended up happening last night when it comes to Zepeda, we knew Zepeda could fight. But what he did to Lamont Roach, is kind of what a lot of us called. So it just reinforced what a lot of us believe. It's just his style is just, like I said, you got to be from another planet to handle that guy. Because he doesn't just win rounds. Like, he's not into this trying to win rounds. He's forcing opponents to fight at a pace that very few can sustain. I don't care how great, what kind of shape you're in. Zepeda is just on another level. You know what I'm saying? And the reasons he won is because of that relentless punch volume, constant forward pressure, the excellent conditioning, the persistent body work, and he showed a refusal to allow Roach to establish a comfortable rhythm, which is what Roach wanted. But it was the punch selection too. This man was throwing 1, 6, 3, 4, 5, and every single punch was landing. 1, that's the jab. 6, it's like uppercut to the body. Then he was throwing the goddamn 3, which is the hook. Then the 4, which is the hook from the left hand. Then the 5, which is that hook to the body with the right hand. So he was breaking Lamont Roach down from the body to the head. It was just amazing to watch him. And I'm going to tell you, Roach had moments of technical success, but many observers felt Zepeda's work rate consistently influenced the flow of the fight, and that's what I feel. It's just that work rate is ridiculous, man. And the performance, I'm going to tell you what happened. What it did, it took Zepeda, as far as his standing, man's a WBC champion now. And he's one of the division's most dangerous pressure fighters. He's a problem for anybody. You have to hit him. You have to hurt him. You have to make him worry. You have to time him. You have to disrupt his rhythm. Tevin Farmer was able to do it, but he had that elusive style where he was willing to stand in there, make Zepeda miss shots. He was timing him, countering him, and he ran him into something big. And Shakur did the same thing. It's just Shakur is a more polished fighter than Tevin Farmer. But Devin Farmer did really good against him in both fights, but Zepeda won those fights. And Shakur, again, like I said, he's more polished than Tevin Farmer, so he was able to do what Tevin Farmer wasn't able to do. But I'm just saying, when it comes to Zepeda, I don't see nobody beating him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you again, Shakur Stevenson, he gained a whole lot of respect without fighting. So people can say what they want about, well, you know, Shakur, his early performance, that's the blueprint to how to handle a pressure fighter. Not everybody can do what Shakur can do. Matter of fact, nobody can. You know what I'm saying? So whether you think Shakur is a great fighter or you don't, I'll just tell you this. I think there's a renewed appreciation for Stevenson's defensive discipline and ring IQ. If not, there should be. Now, Keyshawn Davis and Devin Haney. There's always something going on when Devin Haney's involved and Keyshawn Davis as of late, and Devin Haney's dad, Bill Haney. But discussions continue because Keyshawn turned down the fight with Devin. He didn't move forward. Some people say it's a missed opportunity. Others say he's putting duck sauce on the fried rice. I think it's everything. You know, I think he put duck sauce on the fried rice because he and his team said, hey, the money he was going to make, I think a little over $2 million, wasn't worth the risk involved fighting Devin, especially coming up to 147, where I think Devin would have clipped him. Not knocked him out, but he would have beat him. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, you got the negotiations that the public doesn't see. You don't know what the conversations are between Davis and his team. Who knows? And maybe Bill Haney and Devin Haney didn't really want to fight. And we're just glad Keyshawn pulled out. That way they could sit back and say, you know, Keyshawn's the one putting duck sauce on the fried rice. But I tell you what, you know, there's, what's his name was, the guy Tiger. Tiger Johnson is his name, I believe. He wants to get in there and fight Devin. He's like, shit, I'll get in there. But, you know, they're not going to fight him because he's not a big enough name. But he, you know, they had that little melee and shit where they jumped him. You know, so I don't see why they don't just make the fight, but I understand Devin wants somebody with a bigger name so he can get bigger money. It is what it is. But I'll tell you what, when it comes to Keyshawn Davis, now he's kind of in limbo because he doesn't have a fight lined up. But Frank Martin is like, shit, I'll fight you. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I'll fight you, and fans want that fight. So stylistically, it's a meaningful test. And it gives Keyshawn an opportunity to get more experience. And it gives Frank Martin an opportunity to show that, hey, he really belongs at 140 pounds. Now, supporters believe it could answer questions about where Keyshawn currently stands against experienced contenders. And it says a lot about Frank Martin as far as this new signing with him over at Top Rank, with his new training team, and just seeing, you know, if he's meant to be at the elite level or not. But I'm going to tell you something that's interesting. Shakur Stevenson is still the big dog, and he seems to have everybody shook, in my opinion. But one guy who's not shook and wants the opportunity is Jose Valenzuela. You know what I'm saying? Now, some people are going to say that Valenzuela should focus on immediate opportunities in his own path instead of trying to go against a high-profile name like a Shakur Stevenson, because realistically, like, that's just not an available opportunity. But Shakur even told him, look, man, I respect your grind. You're trying to get paid. Blow up like the world trade. Born sinner. You know what I'm saying? Opposite of a winner. If you fight me, you're going to be a loser. But he's like, yo, you fought De Los Santos. De Los Santos smoked you. You fought Gary Antoine Russell. He smoked you. Then you came and you fought De Los Santos, who hadn't fought in a couple of years, and you had one round, and you clipped him. So, and he had to lose a bunch of weight. So that's just not enough. Go out there, keep doing your thing, and build up your name and profile, get some meaningful wins. And matter of fact, rematch Gary Antoine Russell. You know, you do that, you beat him. And then, you know, now we have some kind of competitive significance. But until you do that, basically shut up in color. Now, I'm going to tell you something that's interesting. Somebody was mentioning Abdullah Mason and Raymond Muratalla. Look, both of these guys, they got it going on, man. They got a bright future in boxing. Champions. But I'm going to tell you this shit. Getting in here with William Zepeda, I think Zepeda beats Muratalla. I think Zepeda beats Abdullah Mason. Even Zepeda said Mason has an easier fight than Muratalla. I just don't see Mason being able to keep Zepeda off him. You know, I'm just being honest with you. He had to hit him with something hard to hurt him. And I just don't know if he's going to even handle that work rate. You know, Zepeda's he's a monster, man. The dude is just a monster. But I think he beats Muratalla and he beats Mason unless they can land something on him. And that's the thing. Can you hit him? Can you hurt him? Can you discourage him? And that's what they would have to do. Because if you can't do it, he's going to basically do them like he did Farmer, like he did recently did Roach, and like he's done everyone else. Now, Shakur Stevenson, they finished talking about him. He's tired of the BS. He like, yo, I fight Devin Haney. They agreed on 144. Then all of a sudden, Devin Haney and his dad, they want to fight back up to 147. So I don't understand why they shifted from 144 to 147. You know what I'm saying? I mean, is it just, basic business politics? Is it gamesmanship? Is it health reasons, competitive reasons? I don't know. But all I know is the more I watch boxing, and you would think I would know this by now, until contracts are finalized, it's difficult to know why particular weight proposals change. But I'll be honest with you. Devin's the champ at 147. Shakir's a huge name in the boxing game. I mean, they both have a lot of leverage. But, someone's going to have to compromise and give a little bit to make that fight. And it looks like they both want bragging rights and to be the A side and be able to talk shit. So I think it's 50-50 down the board. But Shakir's right. He's a smaller guy. Really was fighting at 130. Well, actually 126, 130, 135, 140. Shakir's not a big dude. So I think 144 is fair. But, Devin, he looked like he walked around about 236 goddamn pounds. So even for Devin to come to 140, even him making 147 is hard, but 144 is probably really a challenge for him. He doesn't want to do it. And I can understand. But one thing I can't understand is how fans out here think Gervonta Davis is going to come and beat Zepeda. You know what I'm saying? I just think Gervonta Davis, I think he's a beast. He's got power and everything else, but he showed me something when he fought Lamont Roach. He showed me something. That Gervonta Davis, he's on the downslide, man. And this thing about hoping he could just land one big punch and knock out Zepeda, I just think Zepeda's relentless pace is going to present a fascinating challenge for Gervonta Davis, and I don't think Gervonta can solve the puzzle. I know he's got time and he's got power. He's got counterpunching. He's a southpaw. And that makes him one of the sport's most dangerous fighters against aggressive opponents. But he's been inactive. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't done anything recently to get the juices flowing. But I do think if they fought, it's one of those matchups that would generate significant interest because of the contrasting styles, because it's what Zepeda brings to the table, what Gervonta brings to the table, and because after that, you would think the winner will go on to Zepeda, rematch Shakur Stevenson, or Gervonta go on to fight Shakur. But I'm just telling you, when I look at that, I'm being honest with you. I'm not a bandwagonist. I don't think Gervonta beats Zepeda. I don't think anybody beats this dude, man. I've always said Zepeda's a beast. It was Shakur. I already said what I said about him. I wasn't sure he would be able to handle it. I said he should be the favorite. If I had to bet, I'd bet on him. I said, but I don't know if he can handle that shit. And he proved that he could. Gervonta doesn't fight in that style. But if Gervonta lands, that's the thing, boy. If he lands, but he wasn't able to pull the trigger on Lamont Roach. So, I don't know, man. I'll just say the lightweight division remains one of boxing's deepest and most competitive. Zepeda is now the WBC champion. Didn't do anything but elevate his status, man. And then he reignited discussions about Shakur. And you got Devin, you got Gervonta Mason, Abdullah Mason, Frank Martin, Keyshawn Davis. I mean, the damn division is bubbling, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of these discussions will ultimately be settled, if all the big names get in the ring, and Devin Haney up at, 147 at welterweight. But I'm just saying, these guys need to scrap. I know Devin ain't never coming down to no damn 135 again, but it's just interesting to see how all this played out. I'm putting a lot of respect on Muratalla's name. I am. Just watching what he did last night. Round after round after round. Just destroying Lamont Roach. You know what I mean? It was just watching that. And you know what the thing is? I don't understand why they didn't just stop the fight. Like, why would you just allow the fight to continue? And Lamont Roach, he got to a point there where we were like, he doesn't stand a chance. And everybody could understand them stopping the fight. You know what I mean? Everyone could have understood. Just stop the fight. Don't let the man take no more damage. He took a lot of damage. When somebody throws 884 punches, it's a lot of damn punches, man. A lot of punches. Anyway, I tell you what, man. Y'all keep cool. I'm going to show y'all something here funny before I get out of here. Actually had me laughing. You know how the internet never fails. Check this out.
Debo Dev called out our bluff, and now I got to go fight Rayo at Zepeda and get knocked the fuck out. Please. Dev, come down to 144.
Hold on, man. Watch that again.
Debo Dev called out our bluff, and now I got to go fight Rayo at Zepeda and get knocked the fuck out. Please. Dev, come down to 144.
The internet is no joke. I just hope I don't get on nobody's bad side. Jesus Christ. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.